Okay, Sarah, you started recording. Thank you. So welcome everybody. I don't know which number report out this is. It's 50 something. So welcome to our regular monthly report out. Just remember what we try and get on this report out is some real positive learning and sharing of opportunities and approaches. It would be really helpful if people could be muted when they're not speaking. But please do use the chat. I'll start using the chat. So if you've got comments or questions, if you want to applaud people as they're speaking, that's also fine, by the way. So please use the chat function. And could we have the next slide, please? So just a quick reminder, I get quicker and quicker each week on this. Our core principles for people first. Uh, uh, Making sure teams, I'm doing it in a different order just to make sure I've added difference. Teams are able to drive improvements and are fully involved. At the center of all the work should be value for patients. And if we can, get the patient voice in there and using the staff voice and respect for staff when we're designing processes. So that's at the center of people first. Next slide, please. Some of the things you might spot in the presentations are some of the 5 things which we think are really healthy improvement ingredients when we're working with teams. Really clear purpose, an element of PDSA and testing. You've definitely got some of that in today's. Really clear metrics that people can gather around and see are as important. Some people using improvement huddles and teams working on their own team health and psychological safety. Next slide, please. So we've got 4 really great presentations today. They're only very brief. I would encourage all the speakers, if they can, to contain it within about 5 minutes. I won't hurry you too much along. I might just remind you if you're going on for a very long time. But first off, we've got Trinity, and I hope, and I'm just scanning the audience. Yes, you're definitely there. Trinity, you're up next. So next slide, please.
Thank you, Richard. Hi everyone, I'm Trinity. I'm a nurse working on Medical Assessment Unit TAVI, and this was actually my preceptorship project where we introduced patient's own medication stickers. Yeah, next slide please. So to start this project, obviously we identified a problem. So on TAVI there was a pharmacy waste cupboard containing over 100 boxes of individual patient medications that had been left behind after the patient had either moved to another unit or been discharged home. So we created this project to hopefully reduce the waste of patients' own medication, and just make sure that patients, when they are leaving the unit, that their medications are going with them, and just preventing missed and delayed doses of their medication and preventing staff having to ring us and come back to the unit and just pick up medications that have been left behind. Next slide, please, Richard. So to complete this project, we completed a PDSA cycle. So for the plan portion, we created the stickers, and then to roll out the project, we distributed the stickers across the unit. We educated our staff, so we added it to our improvement whiteboard in the treatment room, and we inform staff for all of our social media. So we have like a staffing group chat. So there was just a little post on there about what the stickers are for, how we use them, and how they're going to improve our care for our patients. So to study the outcome of and the effectiveness of these stickers, we counted the number of individual boxes of medication wasted at the end of each shift for 2 weeks before we rolled out the stickers and after we rolled out the stickers. So before we did, we found that we wasted 18 boxes of individual medication on each shift, and afterwards we found that after the stickers were rolled out, we found that we wasted 15 individual boxes of medication at the end of each shift, which is a 13.4% reduction and does reduce the waste of over 1,000 individual boxes of medication every year. However, we did want to hopefully get that number a bit lower, but hopefully that will come with our next couple of cycles. So going forward for this project, I discussed it with my clinical education team, and they discussed it with the level 6 pharmacy team because we have our own pharmacy team, and they decided that it was a really good idea. They wanted it rolled out across the 3 units, the TAVI, Tamar and Thrushall on level 6, and they did add the stickers onto Tamar and Thrushall, and they're now using them as well. Yeah, next slide, please, Richard. So barriers to successfully implementing this project. So just educating our staff. So Tavy has been very short-staffed at the moment, and we're getting new staff in now. But we were relying on Medical Aesthetic, Tamar, Thrushall, and a couple of other units to help support our staffing. So we didn't have consistent staffing. We didn't really have a very established team. So trying to get all these new people coming in every day, educated on using the stickers, encouraging to use them was particularly difficult. It was added on to our safety brief in the morning, so everyone that came in knew that we were using them and we were trying to get them rolled out. But we did still find that we didn't have as many active participants using the stickers as we would have liked. But that definitely is improving. I've seen it myself. Coming on shift, that I see more and more patients already having the stickers in their notes when I take over their care. And that's it really. Thank you.
Second of all, Trinity. First of all, I was on mute. Firstly, that was a really clear presentation. So I put in the chat, welcome to the improvement world. I think for your first run out, that's absolutely really amazing what you've done and achieved. I would like to ask you a question. So I think I think you've got some applause already gone in there, but I think it's really great. Can you see this eliminating all those boxes that you're waiting?
I think it will definitely reduce it. So the plan for the stickers is they'll go on the patient's risk assessment booklets, which is every patient that comes in has a book. And when we pack them up on Tavy, we pop all of their notes inside that book. And we found that it definitely does. When we pack them up, even the porters are picking up their notes when they come up and like, oh, it says they've got a medication, where are they? So it is, I'm hoping that it will definitely at least reduce them. I would love for it to completely get rid of them. But we are finding we are still getting medications left behind, unfortunately.
Okay, well done. And it's really great ambition. There's a couple of questions come up from one from Vicky Stanford. It says you, but it says, I think me, could we do this on other wards? And same from Kate Dunn, which is, could we do it on is it applicable to other wards, not just level 6?
Yes, definitely. All of us move patients all over the hospital. So it would be really nice to get it rolled out across all the other wards if we could. And it'd be really useful for even nursing staff on a daily shift when they're writing their notes that they can see they've got their own medication. So if they do find that they can't find them, then they know they definitely were with them somewhere. So it would be really nice to get it rolled out across the entire hospital if we could.
Yeah, well, what a great example of a Preceptee project. I think it's really fab. And you might want to pick up with Kate Dunn afterwards in terms of potential for other wards. Might be something we could pick up across the trust with pharmacy. Really well done.
Thank you.
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you. We're going to move on to the next presentation. So I think, is it Abby?
Hi, yes, Abby.
Right, that was my memory was really straining then, so I do apologise. You're on. Good luck.
Fabulous. Hi, everyone. I'm Abby. I'm the clinical admin manager in the renal and transplantation department. I'm responsible for managing a speciality coordinator, 5 secretaries, 2 support secs, and we also have a customer service apprentice as well. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. So in line with the clinical admin management programme, we've been implementing the 5 management routines, and as you can see, sort of from January, we weren't that far. Now sort of looking towards the end of March, we're now fully implemented on all those strategies. And I'll go into each routine a little bit in detail now. If I could have the next slide, please. So with our productive office, we've used the 6S method to review our admin office to organise our shelves. As you can sort of see before, they were very messy, not very clearly labelled. We were being interrupted a lot by people trying to find notes. So we implemented a change where we've sort of clearly labelled our clinics. Our shelves are very organised. We found that's led to not much disruption at all now, as everything is easy to find. We've also got a sort of our sign out book as well there, so that prompts people not to leave the office without tracking in. If for any reason a secretary is not available to speak to, they can fill that book in, say exactly where they're taking those notes. So if, for example, say they're still in transit back to their office and someone's coming in also looking for a set of notes, the first point of contact, rather than looking back through the shelves, we'll have a quick look in that book. You know, you can sort of say, oh, so-and-so from central admin's taken those, and it just saves a lot more time of pulling secretaries away from typing as well. Along with sort of our filing, as you can see, it was the same height as Reese in the QA team, and we've worked really hard and used the new Trust APN as well to reduce our filing down to the size of a 30cm ruler, which is amazing. Next slide, please.
Abby, I was just trying to clarify.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I love the humour in the picture. So 194 is Reese. The 30 centimetre is the size of poor Daniel's lying down on the floor.
Yeah, the ruler that he's holding.
Oh, the ruler.
Yeah, sorry, it's a clear one.
Thank you very much.
Lovely as well. And with our routines, we've been working really hard on producing our renal secretary guide, which is now complete, and also some guidance and booking processes, which really helps when we've had new members of staff join the team. So if it's there to look back on, sometimes it's nice to see it visual as well as sort of answering a question and taking notes as well. So that's worked really well for us. If I could have the next slide, please. And we've recently changed our daily plan control to cover quite a vast area of aspects. So it sort of helped me in my role to monitor what everyone's doing as well. So we monitor our typing, which was recently been put onto a pooled system, so we can sort of see where our oldest typing clinic is, how overdue we are. Same with the printing, we can sort of keep an eye on that one as well. And then our daily inboxes are all there. That includes sort of all the admin team, so our CKD team, Transmat team, and our main sort of level 3 office. Where am I? So we've also got a really clear handover sheet. So there's actions there for myself and the members of the management team, actions that the team can sort of raise as well. We're aware of all upcoming annual leave. It prompts us to sort of hand over to each other, as well as a clear cover sheet there and just some bits for information. A new addition as well is our capacity. So we can sort of keep an eye, make sure we're utilising all our clinics to make sure they're well attended, and we're highlighting any issues as well ahead to the clinicians, and just keeping an eye on those problems that we have at the moment. Next slide, please. And we've been undertaking a weekly improvement huddle with the team, and are starting a plan, do, study, action to review our typing processes, our huddles, as we're trialling pulled printing and typing as well, as it's been shown in other departments that this is sort of the best way forward. So we're really keen to get on that, which we're trying at the moment, and also to get in line with the 48-hour turnaround as well. Our reflux questionnaires all came back to say we were quite a really well functioning team, and we've got our team values stuck up in lots of places around the office as well, and we undertake our team health on our huddle, reflecting on our behaviours, and I think the team are really enjoying this as well. And if I can just have the next slide, please. So feedback from the staff has been very positive for our changes in implementing the 5 management routines and the impact we've had. So one of our staff members said they really enjoyed the structure the changes have brought to the team, really positive routines to implement the teams, and they've really enjoyed the reflexivity and undertaking team health on the huddle, as well as improving communication in the team as well. Yeah, and then if I could just have the next slide as well, please. So the impacts and benefits. So our patients are receiving their letters sooner. Our PTL management is much better now. There's clear visual management. Our team are engaged with improving ideas and understanding expectations. There's also a better organisation of the office environment, and it's led to less disruptions to the team, which is really positive. And then just the next slide as well, please. And the next steps we'd like. So we do have a vacant secretary post, so we'd like to get that one filled. We're then going to review our pooled typing after the trial and see if there's any sort of need for protected time there as well, make any improvements we can. We want to ensure our clinics are better utilised, using our daily plan control to support us in that, and we'd like to use that as well to implement our handovers for absence cover, just to make sure we are covering all aspects and we're not missing anything. And we'd like to look at our admin processes with some process mapping sessions, and to sort of take the team out of the office environment, and everyone's got that opportunity to all talk up and see sort of how we'd like to push forward with things, and also save time as well.
Wow.
And yeah, I think that's it from me.
So firstly, Abby, really well done. I really enjoyed the presentation. You did it so fluently. I'm sorry, I was particularly enjoying the graphic of the filing. I thought that was certainly for our team, quite humorous. And fun aside, you've achieved an awful lot. And so really well done. I don't particularly have a question. I think Rochelle's already answered the question she asked, which is, has it been shared with the AMU sex that also helped cover? And I think it's all been done. And how you cover it. If you were to give advice to anyone else who's leading an admin team and hasn't taken up this yet, what would your advice be?
Ooh, I would just say, like, I've really involved my team quite a lot in this, and I've taken a lot of feedback from the team. So sort of it's their, how do I say it, sort of like our huddle and things that we've all contributed to that, as it's sort of our huddle. We want to know what we're talking about. My advice would be to be open and honest with your team and just take their feedback as best as you can and implement that going forward. And we've really just promoted sort of teamwork. We are one big team, and together we can strive to improve and be the best team we can, really.
Well, I think that's a tremendous answer, and it's got a lot of values in what you said, which I think are really brilliant. So let's end on that. Thank you very much,
Lovely.
Abby. I think it was a really great presentation, and well done to the team.
Thank you.
So next up, I think we've got a short presentation from Vicky.
You do indeed. Thank you. I'm trying to multitask because I'm trying to share the slides and make sure I move them at the right time. So apologies, everyone. Hello to everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Vicky. I am a specialist practice coach here with the Quality Academy. So I've been supporting the medical receiving unit with regards to looking at a flow improvement project that we've been focusing on for the last 2 weeks. So the aim behind this is to increase flow and improve flow and reduce the length of stay of patients that are on the medical receiving unit. And for those of you that don't know what the medical receiving unit is, it's almost like a sorting hat for patients who are required to be admitted, who have come in via ED or via the GP's acute GP service, or direct admits from SWAST, and just to ensure we're directing those patients to the correct pathway. So for the last 2 weeks, what we've been looking at is the patients that are coming into the unit, but also going out of the unit. So what we've got here is we've been splitting the patients down into those that require just a short stay here at UHP, or those that require some speciality beds. And what we were looking at in particular is of those patients that require a particular pathway, are they actually going to that particular pathway? Are we able to identify a bed for them? And as you can see from the graphs, so the blue on both the top graphs are those patients that have gone on the correct pathway, and the orange is indicating patients that have gone on the incorrect pathway. So as you can see, short stay patients is pretty good. We're really good, and it looks like we've got like quite good capacity around those patients that can go to a short stay ward. So that would be TAVI, Froshall, and Lyd. But we do seem to have a real issue with regards to ensuring that our speciality patients are getting onto the right pathway as soon as possible. So how we identify patients that are on the wrong pathway for speciality, basically if they've gone anywhere else other than their preferred destination. So for instance, if they needed a healthcare of the elderly bed and they've ended up going to the TAVI or Froshall first, or gone to another speciality bed, we've classed that as an incorrect pathway. And of those patients that were on the incorrect pathways, we've really delved down and looked into which specialities they are. So that's what the bottom graph is on this slide. It's around identifying which patients haven't gone where they needed to. And one of the big issues that we've identified is our capacity within our healthcare of the elderly bed base, and also within our general internal medicine bed base. So patients coming in to MRU, we wanted to identify any patients really that were suitable to go elsewhere. They could have been signposted elsewhere. So looking at things like those patients that were already post-taked within ED, in theory, there should have been a preferred destination for them, so they shouldn't be coming onto the MRU. patients that could have potentially been discharged from ED, those that may have been suitable to go to our SDEC, so our same-day emergency care for treatment, or our frailty SDEC, and also those that could have gone to hot clinics. We were also looking at admissions that with patients that were medically fit but might have required some additional support. So what we would sort of refer to as maybe a social admission may need some therapy input, but didn't necessarily need any acute medical care. Mental health assessments, and then also any gateway opportunities. So any of those patients that have come in to us that maybe could have been referred to the acute GP service and we could have avoided their admission. So in the first 2 weeks of in the first 2 days of us looking at this data, we had quite a lot of patients that we identified that maybe shouldn't have been admitted onto the MRU. So just by identifying and doing some daily learning with our site team and also the take consultants, we were able to sort of identify and look at challenging some of those moves and those admissions onto the MRU and whether they would be more appropriate to be signposted to another pathway. So our daily learning has been really vital. So 12 o'clock every day. The MRU team, along with the site team, our take assist consultants, the nurse in charge of the unit on the day, and then also with having some care group support and senior support most days, but weekly, has really helped us identify some themes of direction that we need to focus on things that we can improve on. So that what's been really, really supportive for the team is that David Sheridan has been coming to a lot of the sessions to really support and highlight some of the decision-making processes, particularly for our take assist consultants. And we've identified 4 pathways that we really want to concentrate on. So our HC and frailty pathway, and how we can look at improving that to ensure that our elderly patients are moved on to our the correct pathway as soon as possible. Looking at the therapy supports that they receive in MRU, so making sure that it's actually aligned with what the support is on ED. The processes around requesting bloods and X-rays within MRU, which we've already started resolving. So for those of you that work or have worked on ED, they have a red bag system. And we've introduced that on MRU as well. And then finally, the head injury pathway. So a lot of patients were coming in with head injuries to MRU because we weren't sure where they should go. So looking into actually ensuring that we've got clear pathways for those patients. So it's really important that we're doing that daily learning. And we're continuing to do so, and we've already seen an improvement in the reduction of patients that are going on the incorrect pathway out of MRU. So this is, like I say, we're only the second week in, but we've already made some real big changes, and we're hoping that moving forward and working together as a wider one big team with site, that we're going to be able to improve the flow into and out of MRU and ensuring that patients are receiving the best experience. So that's me.
Well done, Vicky. Well done, Vicky. Really great presentation, and I know you had to work really hard to get that done for us in time today. So thank you very much. I know you're really busy. If there's any queries from the group, please add them. I'm not going to add any questions, Vicky, because I think you've worked so hard to get it there. I don't feel like it'd be like asking you too much. I think it's a really great presentation and really great to see lots of detailed ongoing work following out from the learning, which is really fantastic. Okay, we're going to move on to the last presentation. I hope Naomi's all ready. Thanks for doing this at short notice, Naomi, and we're all going to listen to your learning from Kata.
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. I have done this in a couple of days, so please bear with me. So I'm a medical secretary. I'm working in the Royal Eye Infirmary. I've worked here for 2.5 years now, just coming up to that. Over that time, when we have recruited new employees, I have noticed a decline in their knowledge from training. So I decided to use my CATA training to solve this problem. So with the increase in patient numbers and the expansion of available treatments in the new REI building, the REI is now better equipped to offer a higher volume of outpatient appointments and surgical procedures. This has been made possible through the support of a growing clinical team. However, with that expansion, I identified a decline in the knowledge and confidence among the new administrative staff, primarily due to the limited time available for experienced staff to provide a thorough training while adapting to their higher workloads. Recognising this challenge, I saw this as a really good opportunity to use my CATA training to improve the staff development and knowledge within the administration team. Next slide, please. To ensure this issue was addressed effectively, I implemented the PDSA, so the Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle, as a key problem-solving tool. This methodology allowed me to create a well-structured and realistic storyboard, which you can see here, enabling a systematic approach to resolving training gaps within the department here. Through careful planning, I aim to establish a more efficient process that would support new recruits in gaining the necessary skills and confidence to perform their roles effectively once the training had been completed. As part of this initiative, I designed a survey, which you can see the arrow is pointing at just there, for new recruits to complete. This survey was intended to assess their current level of knowledge based on their initial training experiences. The response provided valuable insights to me into specific areas where additional support was needed, highlighting the necessity for a more structured and comprehensive training framework. It became clear to me that implementing a more consistent onboarding and training process would be essential in ensuring new administrative team members so they were well prepared for their daily and weekly responsibilities once they were established in their job role. This structure approach would facilitate a smoother transition into their roles, ultimately enhancing both individual performance and overall departmental efficiency. By integrating the CATA training principles with the PDSA cycle, I was able to develop a targeted strategy that not only addressed immediate training deficiencies, but also laid the groundwork for a sustainable and continuous improvement process. This initiative has reinforced the importance of structured learning, proactive problem solving, and ongoing development within the administrative team. It's ensuring staff members that are fully equipped to contribute to the REI's continued growth and success. Next slide, please. In response to the challenges faced in onboarding new administrative staff, I developed a structured training approach using the CATA methodology, recognising the high workload of the existing staff here and the limited time available for training. I created a training spreadsheet, which you can see here. This was to organise and streamline the process over a 2-week period. The structured plan allowed for a more efficient and systematic approach to training, ensuring that the new recruits here received comprehensive instruction on all essential tasks within the designated time frame according to their new job role. To maximise effectiveness, I gathered input from the team here regarding their availability and training sessions, ensuring minimal disruptions to daily operations. Each new team member was provided with a tailored training plan. As you can see there, I used people's initials so it was easy to follow, to track their completion of key learning objectives. If you could just tap, please. Thank you. Comparative analysis of the pre and post training survey data demonstrated a significant improvement in knowledge and confidence among new administration staff. With a stronger foundation in their roles, these employees are now better equipped to perform tasks accurately and efficiently, reducing the likelihood of errors. This improvement contributed to a more cohesive and collaborative team dynamic, preventing reoccurring mistakes and minimising the needs for corrective actions on the data quality reports that we receive on a weekly basis, which can often be time consuming and resource intensive. If you can just tap again, please. So to further illustrate these outcomes, I've compiled a table detailing the measurable improvements observed over a 2-month period, showcasing a notable decrease in data quality areas. The enhanced training structure will not only optimize workflow efficiency, but will also contribute to reduce patient waiting times and alleviate the workload of other administrative staff. Thank you. Next slide, please. So through this process of Kata Train, I have gained a deeper understanding of how the Kata principles, structured problem solving and small improvements can be effectively applied in a training environment. Kata has allowed me to recognise the importance of patient consistency and incremental progress. Initially, implementing a new structured approach felt challenging and unnecessary at times, but over time and support, it became clear that small, deliberate improvements led to a long-term success. Kata has proven to be a valuable framework for the department, and I really look forward to using this tool in the future. So yeah, thank you for listening, everyone.
Well done, Naomi. And there will be a, although we haven't got the slide in today, there will be a Kata certificate on its way to you. I think it's really great, very straightforward work as well. I'm really impressed how logical and numerate you were through the process. So it was a pleasure to coach you through this. I guess my question would be, is this transferable to other training in other teams?
Would that just be in this department or across
anywhere?
Other? I feel like it would be. I mean, we definitely found, you know, having that improvement huddle together as a team here to work out people's availability. Obviously, with high workloads, we're all under quite a lot of pressure here in the trust at the moment, and I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. So having these structured timetables, if you like to call them that, it really does create a lot of structure, and it allows everyone to know exactly what's happening, and it keeps that communication to a high standard, which, you know, when you're in a busy environment, that can be crucial. So yeah, I think it could definitely be used.
Yeah, well done. And I particularly like the way you looked at the outcomes from training and people's views of it and how confident they felt. I thought it was really, really good. I can't see any other questions now. I just say really well done. Cass, it would come to you. So fantastic. Thank you very much. Can we just move on to the next slide? Before I go on to talk about, I am going to do a bit of reflection today. So been really interesting, and I know we've it might feel we whistled through those, but that should be the normal pace. So really well done, everybody. But we've gone from a preceptorship topic of patient meds to a team leading their own admin improvements to a corporate project around MRU and trying to make the front door more efficient, and to doing data quality and training better in the REI. I mean, at this time where we are, when things are, I guess everyone's understanding what's going on nationally with health budgets, etc. Small bits of waste within team control are really, really important to us from 2 points of view. One is obviously it makes it better, the process better, and it'll feel better. But actually, there's probably money at stake somewhere in the process. But also, it's so great for the culture of teams. And upholding values, and I think we saw that in some of the presentations. So I wanted to say thank you again to all the presenters, some really great examples today. There are no shortage of topics coming up, so I hope people spread the word if people would come. It's probably one of our lowest attendances today. That isn't to say the topics weren't great, fantastic, but spread the word. We're pretty much the same time every month. Is that Rochelle trying to speak, or just jump in, Rochelle?
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to type it, but you just said about the attendance number. So this is normally in my diary as an invite, and a reminder pops up as people join, but it wasn't this month. I had to join just because I saw it in the daily email.
Right.
So I wonder if that's affected numbers at all.
Rochelle, that's really helpful. We'll go and review that. So that's really helpful to know. So I would just to say we will be back on Thursday, the 1st of May. And there may be even more than this, but I hope it's very light and you can see some of the great stuff going on. And well done, presenters today. That's a wrap. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye all.